welcome to our new project here. This is a tiny house kitchen remodel. Our friends Jack and Kelly have this tiny house that they've had for quite a few years now, and I'm gonna be reworking this beautiful little kitchen area here for them. Basically, we've got 7 feet across this way and 5 feet coming out, so it's a nice tight little space. Gonna take out the tile countertops that you're seeing there and this sort of temporary table on the side, and put in gonna keep the sink where it is, air conditioner where it is, and this little window on this side will stay right where it is. But rather than open shelving on top, gonna put in upper cabinets here and here and up over the top of the air conditioner. New cabinetry underneath here that I'll be custom making. We're going to have Lazy Susans in both of these corners to better access storage underneath there. And then on both sides, over here and on the other side, counter depth will just stay at 18 inches because we'll need room for those Lazy Susans to be able to turn there and still have the sink the same size. So the two sides here will be only 18 inches deep. Upper drawer here, and then 2 doors below, and I'm going to reuse all this nice cedar that he already had in place here. We're going to be upcycling a number of other cool materials that we have on site. Got a whole bunch of more of this same cedar that he had from years ago, so we're going to use that for our door fronts. We've got some really interesting big old beams of Port Orford cedar. It's like a white cedar that he has that I'll be showing you more of, and we're going to be turning that into our countertops for all. Tiny house kitchen day 3. Yesterday we got a bunch of that upcycling the Port Orford cedar that we had, and I did a little bit of the initial reframing here. And now today got a good chunk of the cabinetry, built-in cabinetry set up here. Again, both inside corners here are going to have Lazy Susans in them, so I'm actually going to leave those open. And we've got 24-inch spaces here on the ends for a drawer and cabinet underneath. Same thing on this side, 24 inches, another drawer and cabinet. And then we've got 30-inch wide cabinets up above here that, again, kind of using simple technique here, just using some cleats into the wall to secure the, and then building them right in place, and that way saving some material as we're putting them together here. They're going to have, this is the shelf over here is already pre-cut for this side, and tomorrow I got to get the top on that one and another shelf cut. A few more odd parts here, and then I'll be ready to start working on milling up cedar for my face frames. Again, we're going to reuse a bunch of other cedar like this material here for the door and drawer fronts that'll be going on, and then got that beautiful yellow, almost white cedar for these countertops that'll be going on back in place here. So looking good. guys, good morning. I'm going to take a few minutes here to show you how I'm making the doors for this tiny house kitchen. Basically, we're reusing and upcycling some funky old cedar tongue and groove boards. This is what they did look like not long ago. We've put them through a planer, and so now we've got our nice boards cleaned up, a little nicer on all sides. We'll be sanding them some more, but I've roughly cut these to length. They're a little longer than what they will be needed for eventually, and they're also wider than what we'll do, what the final size will be. And so this is my good face. So what I'm doing is pairing up different ones that were, even some of them were the same board. You can kind of see there, they look like the same board. Kind of similar looking boards. You kind of want to stack them together so that you don't get totally different, really different looking boards next to each other. But so right now these guys are just temporarily stuck together, and but I joined them up. So what I'm doing is, once I got the ones figured out that I like together, flip them over, and then I have milled up a bunch of just more of the cedar that we had left over from some boards, just 3/4 thick, and these ones are going to end up 11 inches wide. So I'm going to cut a couple of these down to 9 inches for just simple backers like that, so that that'll be screwed on to hold these guys together. So cut those down real quick. Both ends, so I can cut both at the same time. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm consistently cutting all of them, or setting these all 4 inches away from the edges. So making a simple mark at 4 inches both ways. Then I'm taking my square, setting that along the edge here and lining it up with that 4-inch mark. Then I'm taking my pieces, pre-drilling them quick. Again, you can refer to my pro tip video about why you want to pre-drill. You could get fancy and mark exactly where they're going to go, but this is pretty rustic, so keeping it simple. So again, ends are going to get cut off on both sides here, so I'm kind of just generally centering it and then keeping it against the square. 1.25 inch screws so that they don't shoot through the face, obviously. Hold it down. In there. All right, so again, these guys are wider than my final size is only going to be 11 1/8 on these ones. So I want to have the line essentially in the center on them. So what I'm going to do is go out a little over 5.5, about 5 9/16. About right there, and utilize our awesome plunge cutter here, with the track saw. So I'm going to set that on there, right where my marks are. Take the awesome Makita plunge track saw, set her right on there. Okay, there's one side. Nice clean cut, makes a beautiful even cut. Now I'm going to flip it around. Now I'll measure over my 11 1/8 from where the other side. Okay, once again, set the track right at my little points. That gives us our width. Now, to get our length, gonna set those guys again so that they're so now you want a nice square door. So I've got equal parallel lines on both sides, so now I take my square again, hold it on the end, and again I left my length is long, so now I can just cut it to the exact size I want and get a nice even cut all the way across. So I can just pre-mark it there. And back to my handy dandy track saw. And again, this is awesome. These things are great. You can see they've got these little cushiony stuff on the back, so you don't have to clamp it, you don't have to mess around. You can just set it where you want it. Line it up with my little marks there. Beautiful even line all the way across. Flip it around. Double check my dimensions. I want 11 1/8 by 21 1/2. I'm at 21 7/8. So there's my half mark. Now I take my square again. Nice consistent line, so I know right where I'm going here. Set it right back on my line. Whee! Balance it in better. Okay.
I mean, again, you could be doing this with just a solid piece of wood or anything, really.
Exactly, yeah. This could work with a piece of plywood or anything else as well. But that way it gets us a nice even door, all the dimensions. And if you check for square, again, check corner to corner. I got 24 3/16 and 24 3/16. So we know we got a square door. So that's what I'll be doing with all of them. That's what I've done with a number of them already. Once I got them at that point, then it'll be sanding and putting some finish on them, and we'll have some purdy doors for our little tiny home kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, simple, natural stain, no color. Just want to see that beautiful cedar come through by itself.
That looks really nice.
I like to rub it on rather than brush it, just because I can control it better, I find.
Mm-hmm. That one's got a hole in it.
It's got a big hole in it. Part of the character.
Will you put something in the back? To,
Well, we'll see. Probably not.
if Kelly wants it, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Drawer fronts. Those are looking really cool.
Basically just oil to bring out the natural color. No pigments needed. In the home stretch here, got all the cabinets are now in, and door and drawer fronts are on. Hardware is in place. Got, again, as I was saying, we got drawers on the two sides here. Nice deep ones for Got to clean everything up still. Got a nice little cabinets underneath. Plenty of space down underneath, and then I made these corner doors to cover the go inside the Lazy Susan zone here. Two tall doors to get under the kitchen sink area. And then again, uppers, nice big cabinets with a big full shelf in the center. Nice little upper over the air conditioner. Same on that side, basically a mirror image on the other side.